MVY Radio at the Cisco Ottawa Bluesfest, and I'm standing with Alan Toussaint, who played last night with the Blind Boys of Alabama and is playing a set tonight at the Root Stage in Ottawa. I heard the sound check. How did it work out today? You happy with the sound and you ready for tonight?
I'm happy with everything here. Everything is in such fine order, and the people have been impeccable. It's just a grand place, and it's a grand time to be here.
Have you been in Canada much? Have you played much in Canada over the course of your career?
No, not much at all. I've been here once with Elvis Costello, and we came over right after we did the album, and I still love to say album, The Ribbon Reverse, and we did a festival in Canada. But this is a marvelous place, and most of my friends have been here many times, and they love it, and I see why.
Yeah. Yeah, it just is really a great setting, and the weather certainly has cooperated too for all of us. You mentioned Elvis Costello and that wonderful album that you did, the River in Reverse. You've worked with so many different people, including Bonnie Raitt and Little Feat and LaBelle. Tell us a little bit about the collaboration with Elvis Costello, and maybe one of those other people, and tell us a little bit about what it was like to work with them.
Well, the collaboration with Elvis Costello was prompted by us being together at so many times right after Katrina, when I was placed in New York for a while, and Elvis has a place there, and we were doing many benefits together. And Elvis said he had always wanted to do an Alan Toussaint songbook. So here we are at the same place, same time, what about it? And I pondered over it for about 2 seconds and said, of course. And we got right to work on it, and I'm so glad we did. It was one of the blessings of Katrina, because Katrina was a drowning in one way, but it was a baptism in another.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, so it's so many different directions to go in, but we'll come back to the collaboration and working with other people. But let's talk about all of the efforts and all the music that has been produced since Katrina. And you just said it so well. They are a blessing and a baptism at the same time. What are some of the things that are happening right now going forward? What's the situation there, and what are some of the things that are happening now?
Well, New Orleans is going to be bigger and better than ever. Let me retract that. It's going to be better than ever, because it can't get bigger. But it'll be better than ever. I'm glad to say that we're well on the road to a marvelous recovery and some new and exciting things that we weren't geared up for. But Katrina made us flex new muscles that we didn't know we had, and I'm glad to see it happening. There's many things that needed to be done, and now they have to be done. So this is a fine time for New Orleans, and musicians, many of them are back. And as I travel around the country and here and there, those who are not back are on the way usually. So it's a very good time for New Orleans. Also, I might add, when Katrina happened, as bad as it was that everyone had to be displaced, Katrina was quite a booking agent, because there were more New Orleans musicians working right after Katrina than ever in our history. Everyone had a job, because they were displaced to places that people didn't have to fly them in. They just had to find out that they were right down the street and say, would you like to gig here? So it was great. And it's many blessings are still going on.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing that that can be the case, and it is that way with so many things that happen that are challenges and that are devastating, that there always seems to be a way to recover and to go forward and with new energy and to have a new creation.
Yes, always.
Always, yeah.
Always.
So how about making that Lady Marmalade with LaBelle?
Oh, yes.
I want to know about that session.
LaBelle was a culture shock for us when she walked into the studio, because we're in New Orleans and we move at our pace, which is a little slower than the rest of the world. And LaBelle came in. That was the first time I saw a lady come in with a camisole on up top and skirt at the bottom, and it was just grand. Even when LaBelle would sit on the side of the piano and we were just going over some things that she might do, even very softly, every phrase she was able to breathe out sounds like it should be a take. Even her hello sounds good. And I must say, Nona and Sarah Dash, who was with her at that time, everyone had their specific place in the heavenly group, and they were quite a marvelous match. And I'm so glad that they came to New Orleans and to have me be a part of them.
Yeah, was the magic combination, I think, for that particular song. So.
Oh yes, yes.
So how about other people? Bonnie Raitt, I know you worked with her. Talk about Bonnie.
I, like every man, woman, and child who's breathing, love Bonnie Raitt. Yes, in every way you can. So you can. It's not double entendre. All those ways I love her. But she's just a wonderful person, and I mean deep within her heart. She's not just a surface entertainer. Beyond that is real meat. It's real. It's the very real thing. She's just marvelous, and she's done several of my songs. Always better than me. I love that, and better than most. But also as just a musician, if she was just a side guitarist, I'd like her in my band, and everyone else would. Also, Paul McCartney recorded his Venus and Mars album with us when Linda was still with them with Wings, which was another fine time for Toussaint Studio in New Orleans. And he spent much time in New Orleans, and he got around to everyone, and he's quite a humanitarian. When he got through with the session, he commissioned everybody, our porters, the butlers, the people who clean up the trash. He gave them all first-class tickets out to California and gave a big party on the Queen Mary for the engineers, anyone who wanted to come. And of course, he got around to all the musicians like Professor Longhair, Earl King, and it was just a wonderful time.
Oh, amazing. It seems like that type of thing happens around you. And does any of it surprise you? The young man who at 7 years old started playing piano, inspired in part by Professor Longhair. You probably could never imagine what a life, what a great collaborative and productive and creative and wonderful humanitarian life that you've led.
Well, yes, of course I couldn't have imagined that because we didn't see the big picture. Record business wasn't any, record business or entertainment as we knew it wasn't nearly what it came to be. But I did know from a very young age that this is what I would be doing at whatever way that music will be alive at that time, I would be involved in it. I didn't know that would get me all the way to Canada talking to you. But I did know from a very young age that this is it. I'm in love with it. It loves me. And here we are.
We're going to stop right on that note. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I'm glad that it's such a great experience for you here in Ottawa. It is for us, and this is one of the highlights for us. Thank you so much. Alan Toussaint, Barbara Dacey for MVY Radio.
My pleasure.